I welcome you all to our closing session of this Interspeech 2019. And I'm very glad that so many of you found the time to stay before they have to rush to their train, airport, or whatever it is. And I hope that we will still have another big celebration here together that you will enjoy and take home as another lasting memory. The first thing we will have here is, well, you might have expected, some music. How could it be otherwise? It's the trombone ensemble of the University of Music and Performing Arts, and I invite them up to the stage, and please give them a big hand. And they will introduce this session of honors and awards with an Olympic fanfare, as it should be. Thank you very much for this excellent introduction to our sequence of events. And I will start it with a very short report on the conference. I tried to keep it on a single slide, so I selected heavily from all the possible things that have happened this week. The first is selected from our Twitter channel. And of course, I had to select something that sounds nice for us. So apparently, lots of you appreciated our poster sessions. And that is a little statement from one of the tweets that I have quoted here. And we are very happy to receive these kind of compliments. Then there's a compliment to you. 2,075 registered participants as of today. So as anticipated, a record number, almost 15% higher than any number we have seen before at Interspeeches. And I'm sure that future Interspeeches will continue to grow. So this is a message which is both kind of maybe exciting for the future organizers, but maybe also kind of creating a little of sorrow, how you will handle these ever-growing numbers. And finally, the whole week was, of course, accompanied by lots of music, and also there, my feeling is that all of you like this, and maybe we should try to continue that tradition to have not just an Interspeech, but also a little bit of an intermusic conference. So, we are going now through a short sequence of thank you that I will express here in the name of the entire team of organizers. And we start with a thank you to our sponsors. I guess many of you had the opportunity to meet them at the exhibition stands and in other occasions during that week. And we are sure that their support of the entire event through many different channels was instrumental to allow us to offer you the quality that you have experienced. So let us all give them also a big hand for this very special support. The next ones will be special in a way, because we have here this trombone ensemble, and we have to do something with them. But we actually thought that it might be very nice that if we kind of give special recognition to individuals or also groups of people here, that should be somehow personalized. And the way we created this personalization is that we asked Christoph Ressi, whom some of you learned to know during the student event as the composer and performer of the piece presented there in the Tesla Hall. He also composed a couple of more pieces, short individual fanfares, which will be played whenever some of our awardees enter the stage. So it will be presented live again by the trombone ensemble that you have already heard. And what we will also do, and I also explain this now, because otherwise it will be hard to see later, is that the musical score of each individual composition has been printed on a sheet of paper, nice paper, that will be presented in a handcrafted book that then contains the city panorama of Graz and some ornaments from our poster wall, created again by our architect Milena Stavritz. So I'm looking forward to this very special award ceremony, and we start with the first group of awardees. 63 of them, our student volunteers, student helpers. Just to give you some idea, there's 40 locals, 20 national, almost equal match between male and female. And I think this is the time to hear the first fanfare. Durchgehen. Nein, ihr geht's mal durch. Ich komme dann nach. Welches? Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe you try to get all together. And as the representative of this huge group, I will give or hand over this little book with the specially composed fanfare for student volunteers to Kati Pollack, who was coordinating them all. So let's also give a big hand to her. Thanks a lot for all the work you did for us. And now, as fast as you came on, you have to rush again, and we'll see how the next group is doing, so whether they can beat your speed. So the next group is not students, but more senior people on average, I would say, 49 members of our organizing committee, again with a very nice balance of male and female participants, which we are very happy about, because this is not as easy for this huge group of participants to achieve it, but at least in our committee we did it. And again, we will have a fanfare here. Ich sehe schon, gib's mir der Reihe nach. Alle gleich. Die Rose weg. Das ist ja So, our team, and again, I'm very happy to mention a few persons individually. I guess the first one whom you have seen all several times already in this conference, of course, is our technical program chair, who really contributed a lot in making sure that all your papers get reviewed and get accepted with the quality they deserve, and then also get organized in an excellent program here. And therefore I start with the first to Thomas.
Thank you. Well, thank you. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
And nobody can do such a job without the co-chair, and our co-chair is Björn Schuller, and also all the best to him. And once the program is set up, there is so much stuff to organize locally to make sure that the whole organization runs smoothly. And the person that was most instrumental in that process was Martin Hackmüller. We have to shake hands first. And finally, much more behind the scenes, but equally important, there's people in the conference secretariat who make sure that all the administrative processes run smoothly in the background to make sure that we receive all the support we need to get things done. And the two persons who really contributed a lot there are Ilona Pölzl and Johanna Hofer. Johanna unfortunately is sick, but Ilona is here, and I'm also very happy to congratulate her on the contributions. So, thanks to all of you, And again, we continue with the next. So the next I still have to mention here as a very special contributor to our conference are the keynote talks, which we enjoyed over the past 4 days. And apparently they were very attractive for you because you spent an effort, significant effort to make it here already very early in the morning, not to miss any of them. Unfortunately, not all of them can be with us for this afternoon session, but still they have their own fanfare and we will listen to it. We will record it and forward the video recording of these fanfares to them. Some of them could receive already the little booklet beforehand. Some will get it afterwards. So this is the fanfare for Keiichi. Thank you. On Tuesday morning, we had Tanja Schulz presenting us her talk, and I invite her on stage while we listen to the second fanfare. So, dear Tanja, thank you a lot. And here's your fanfare.
Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome. There's 2 more to go. Next one is Manfred Kaltenbacher, who gave us his overview on voice physiology and physics on Wednesday. Unfortunately, he's not here with us today, so let's listen to his fanfare. And we conclude with Mirella Lapata, who gave us her talk this morning. And we have one more fanfare to conclude this first section of thank yous. Okay. And I think now I invite some of the special awards to be given next.
Well, I said yes, but... No. This one.
This one.
And then?
Just the green button.
So I'm the first one to present some awards, and the one I'm going to present is the best best poster award and the runner-up poster award for the Young Female Researcher Workshop that we held last Saturday. To give you some numbers, we had 43 submissions going up from 36 last year, and we had 25 bachelor master students visiting from 11 different countries. We had 9 mentors and we had 15 sponsors, for which we are very, very grateful, because the sponsors allowed all these students from all over the world to come and be here in Graz with us. And they received a program with mentoring and poster presentations and feedback, and basically building a community of young speech researchers. So now I would like to have the winner of the Best Poster Award and the runner-up come to the stage to receive their certificate. And the Winner is Lena Pagel from the University of Cologne. And the runner-up is Xiao Shu Gao from the University of Singapore.
This is not my slide. Oh, sorry. I'm using the laptop versus this. Now I realize why. Okay, so the next challenge that we'll highlight is the Fearless Steps Challenge. It's September 2019. 50 years ago, July 20th, was when mankind stepped on the moon. And this challenge was set up by recovering 19,000 hours of audio from the Apollo program and made available to the community. There were 5 different challenge areas. 155 individual and team downloads took place worldwide. And in each of the challenges, they were benchmarked against a default standard. And then these are the winners of the challenge for speech activity detection, automatic speech recognition, speaker ID, as well as sentiment detection. We did not list all the names of the submitters because in some cases they were fairly large teams. So I'd like to ask if any representatives from these teams are here, if they would come forward and receive their certificates. And next, Torbjörn will give the Best Paper Awards.
Yes. As Thomas said during the opening, 914 papers were accepted for the conference. A great many of these were authored by students. The area chairs have nominated 13 papers for the Best Student Paper Award, and 3 papers have been selected for the award. just being among the 13 is a great achievement, and it's something that you should really be proud of. So these are the 13 papers, second batch, and the third batch. So a jury have been evaluating the papers, and they've been selected based on the paper themselves, the scores and comments from the reviewers, and a presentation of their paper which took place on Sunday. So, the winners are John Lee, Hyung Sok Choi, Changbin John, Yonghong Koo and Kyugui Lee on adversely trained end-to-end Korean singing voice synthesis system. Please come up for your certificates. The second award is for this paper, evaluating near-end listening enhancement algorithms in realistic environments, and the student author is Carol Shermas. And the final award goes to Language Modeling with Deep Transformers, student authors Kazuki Irie and Albert Sayer. And I should mention that in addition to the certificate, it's also a monetary prize, so all the winners should contact the ISCA secretary for that. Finally, we have awarded a number of student grants. This year, 210 roughly applicants applied for getting the grant to go to Interspeech, €650 worth. The 60 recipients of the ordinary grants are listed here, along with the 3 recipients of the Yayim Miao Memorial Grant. So let's give them a hand. Okay, next up are the journal paper awards.
So the next is the Best Paper Award for the journal papers. ISCA is committed to publication of 2 journals, Computer Speech and Language and Speech Communications. And the editorial board of each journal has selected the best paper from the papers published in the past 5 years. So the first ISCA award for the best paper published in computer speech and language between 2014 through 18 is presented to a domain-independent statistical methodology for dialogue management in spoken dialogue systems, authored by David Griol, Zoraida Carrios, Raymond Lopez Cosa, and Giuseppe Riccardi. Congratulations. Please come up to the stage.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And the ISCA award for the best review paper, that is a survey paper published in computer speech and language in 2014 and 18, is awarded to a survey on the application of recurrent neural networks to statistical language modeling, authored by Wim D. Martel, Stephen Bethard, and Marie-Francine Moens. Congratulations. Please come up to the stage. And the ISCA award for the best paper published in speech communication was presented at UCIPCO this year. So I'll make an announcement that it is awarded to Deep Feature for Text-Dependent Speaker Verification, authored by Yuan Liu, Yanmin Xiang, Nanxin Chen, Jianfan Fu, Ya Chang, and Kai Yu. Congratulations.
So my colleague and friend, Christian Benoit, died 20 years ago. So he was mainly working on audiovisual speech processing, and he was quite involved in the early foundation of the ESCA. So since that time, the ISCA, the Christian Benoit Award is delivered every 2 years. Is valued 7,500 euro, and it's delivered to a promising young scientist in the domain of speech and face-to-face communication. So now, for 2 years, the Christian Benoit Award is sponsored by ISCA and AFCP, which is the French Association for Speech Communication. And the committee, with 9 quite interesting people, has nominated Sankar Mukherjee, which is nowadays in the Institute of Italian Institute of Technology in Ferrara in Italy, on a project called Neurobehavioral Aware Conditional Agent, no DNN in the title, thank you. And I invite him to come on stage. Give a hand. Please to see. Thank you. So he has 5 minutes to present just the outline of his project. So please, red button.
Okay.
Thank you very much for this honor. I'm going to present very shortly. So, my idea is to boost the user engagement when humans are talking with conversational agent. And the second thing is when during the conversation, what happens in our brain is still remain unexplored. So my goal would be to collect behavioral data from the human when they are interacting with conversational agent and try to identify their neural and speech features during the interaction. Using those features, user speech and user brain from the, I'll try to create or explore what kind of features, be it behavior, be it neural, can be exploited and can be put into the conversational agent to boost users' engagement. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Yes. Excellent. Right. So this is now a sequence of awards that relate to the Interspeech 2019 technical program. And I hope that you'll agree with at least us. We thought that the survey talks were a really nice addition and very exceptional and very interesting overviews of a wide variety of different topics. And so for that reason, we would like to ask the survey presenters again on stage, please. Please come up. Anne Bradlow, Aurel Gouache, I think has left, but Q Han, Ming Li, Florian Metze, Andreas Nautsch, Jan Nihus, Odette Scharenberg, Ralf Schlüter, and Nigel Ward. Please come on stage.
Yeah, you're standing there. Congratulations.
You need to take this. Okay. Right. Congratulations. Congratulations. Yeah. Can you take this? Okay. Right. It's many survey talks. Okay.
Thank you for a great talk. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you, Q.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Another part of Interspeech 2019 have, of course, been the special sessions, and it has been, as I said in the opening ceremony, a set of special sessions with lots of challenges, and one of them that should be quite familiar to you is basically the paralinguistic session, special session that is a challenge that has been running for the 11th time this year since 2019, had 45 registered participants and 11 papers at the conference. This is something that Björn Schiller and his team organizes for many years now. There are 4 sub-challenges in this, event, and this year there's one person that is missing from the organizing list, and that is Stefan Steidl, who unfortunately passed away after the last Interspeech. So the awards have been named after him. These are the Stefan Steidl Awards. And I would like to ask for the awardees of the Sub-Challenge Awards to come up while I'm reading out the awards, please. And the first Sub-Challenge Award goes to the Styrian Dialect Sub-Challenge, and that is to a paper on using attention networks and adversarial augmentation for Styrian dialect continuous sleepiness and baby sound recognition. And that is a huge team that will be presented by Seung-Lin Ye, and you can see the many co-authors. Please, if anyone is available from that team, please come on stage. The second sub-challenge is the sub-challenge on continuous sleepiness, and this is for the paper using Fisher vector and bags of audio words representations for to identify Styrian dialect, sleepiness, baby, and orca sounds by Gabor Gostolia. Please, if you're here, please come on stage. The third sub-challenge is on recognizing baby sounds, and again, this is on the paper that was named before, using attention networks and adversarial education for Styrian dialect, continuous sleepiness, and baby sound recognition, represented by Seung-Lin Ye. Yeah. And
Congratulations.
Finally, the orca activity sub-challenge, which is the rewardees are for the paper, the DKU Lenovo Systems for the Interspeech 2019 Computational Paralinguistic Challenge. And the Highway Wu, Wei-Qing Wang, and Ming Li are the authors, if a representative is here. Thank you very much. Of course, we had, as part of the conference program, a huge set of show and tell presentations, which were exciting and really fascinating. There was a total of 37 presentations in 6 sessions. We had a set of chairs and also judges that looked at these presentations very carefully and tried to give awards on the basis, of course, on the competence of the presenter, but on the quality and clarity and informative value of the presentation and of the demonstration. And there were many excellent demonstrations, but one found the particular interest of the judges, and that is the presentation on off-the-cuff exploring extemporaneous speech delivery with TTS. And if any of the authors of the paper, Eva Sekeli, Gustav Henter, Jonas Beskow, or Joachim Gustafsson are here, please come on stage.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Well done.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
And finally, this was the first Interspeech that hosted a hackathon that was supported by Amazon. And the task was to create skills that were helpful for the environment and in some form. the task was to implement an interface with Amazon Alexa within 1 or 2 days. There were 4 teams in total, and you have to remember that these teams did not work with these speech interfaces. Most of these teams did not work with them before. So the organizers were, of course, from the local organizers and also from the speech community at large, and also we had significant help from Amazon in this regard. The judges, we had three judges that are very knowledgeable in conversational interfaces, who looked at these very carefully, and they came up with, and we also had the visitors of the hackathon on the Tuesday to judge and to give their opinion on which was the best interface. And I would like to announce that the Visitors Awards winners of the hackathon were the implementation of Simple Recycle, how to reduce recycling contamination. And the producers of the demonstration were Daniel Braithwaite, John Guib, and Nasi Gopi. If they are here, please come on stage.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Well done. Congratulations.
Very nice. Well done.
Well done. Thank you. And with that, we move on to a piece of music by the trombone ensemble. Thank you.
So we are now coming to a close for this Interspeech. We'd like to highlight some of the next Interspeech conferences that will take place. Next year, we'll be in Shanghai, China. There'll be a short presentation after my part that will highlight some of the activities and things you'll expect to see there in Shanghai. That's in 2020. After that, Bruno in 2021. If you saw their booth, you probably sampled some of the refreshments that they may be offering at their conference as well. And then after 2021 will be Dublin, Ireland. And so we look forward to your attendance at these conferences. There'll also be short presentations from each of these three after my phase. So I wanted to mention that normally in the General Assembly, we kind of highlight for the ISCA board, the election process, and I neglected to do this, so I apologize. Normally I would introduce the next president, but I was reelected to serve another 2-year term as president, so you're stuck. So you're stuck with me for another 2 years. I apologize for that. In addition to that, we had 3 ISCA board members that were completing their service. Those 3 members were Satoshi Nakamura, Kai Berkling, and Lori Lamal. We have certificates and plaques for them. Unfortunately, Kai Berkling and Satoshi Nakamura both had to leave and could not attend here, but Lori Lamal is here. So if she would come forward, we'd like to present her with her appreciation plaque and certificate. Okay, one of the other people I'd like to recognize, in addition to obviously everyone in the organizing committee, but one person from ISCA that actually handles every logistic you can possibly imagine behind the scenes. She does this quietly and very, very professionally. Every time you register for your membership, she's the person that personally verifies that actually things work. She's also the main go-between from ISCA to every organizing committee. She handles an enormous amount of email traffic and does it in the most positive, productive way. So I'd like everyone to give a sign of appreciation for Manu and all of the work that she does for ISCA and our society. Sorry, I'm going to have her come up. Manu likes to do things behind the door, or behind closed doors, but she needs recognition. Okay, now we move on to our appreciation for this Interspeech. Think of what has happened over the last week, okay? Places that we've had Interspeech. If you look, this is the world map. Now we get to color in another country, Austria, okay? So in the future conferences, we hope to keep filling this map. Maybe in the General Assembly, I noted we probably won't fill Greenland, but we'll live with that, okay? All right, next, let's also recap what took place this week. If you think about all of the work and everything that went on behind the scenes here, every aspect that you can imagine that this committee could have done, they took steps to improve and expand the quality and experience that every Interspeech attendee would come away with. The culture, history, the beautiful city, as well as the people of Graz were at our doorsteps here. This organizing committee looked at every phase of this conference and instilled novelty and innovation to so many aspects here. So we think about it, 914 presented papers, probably one of the largest, if not the largest, interspeech that we've ever had. Over 2,000 attendees, the largest number of attendees. Any of the previous interspeeches, Eurospeeches, or ICSLPs that had to face this probably would have been extremely nervous. Yet this organizing committee took it upon themselves to work through every detail and every facet to ensure it was successful. Personally, I never felt that I was being crowded in any location. There was a lot of people here, but the space that this conference center and the facilities offered allowed us to move freely around through all the sessions and be able to get access to all the posters and oral presentations, as well as talking to our friends and colleagues. In addition to that, we recognized 7 new ISCA fellows, bringing our total of 75 fellows for the ISCA community. We also recognized the ISCA Scientific Medal that was awarded. In addition to that, the ISCA student SAC events were a great success. If you are a student and this was your first time, please reach out to the SAC. We very much would like to have you be part of the Student Activities Committee here. Next, if you look at the technical program here, this organizational committee just did a phenomenal job. The welcome reception, the keynote speakers, the summary speakers, the workshops, and all the conference venue itself, everything was so novel and so supportive of us having a great experience here. One of the things I would highlight on what I felt was some of the most innovative aspects that many people came up and said, do this more, these survey talks. They really enjoyed this. This was something that really was an innovative aspect this committee brought forth, and it was a really big success. And how many times have you been to a conference and have had trouble talking to someone at a poster session? In the last 30 years, I can name a number of conferences where I remembered how my experience from the conference to having to do full contact battle to get into talk to the person at the poster session. Who would have thought to have artists design sound-absorbing materials in an artistic way that could be integrated into the poster session and isolate the conversations that may take place? This was truly an innovative contribution to our field, and I think it made it for a much more enjoyable poster session for everyone that attended here. I really would like to find that artist and see if we could have that person commission all future interspeeches. That would be helpful. Here, okay? In addition to that, also I would say the reviewer and student receptions. Probably, maybe you didn't know that Tesla was a student here at Graz Technical University, but boy, I was really happy that we identified Tesla and not that other person that was actually born close to Graz that most people probably recognized when they first looked up the city. His name has not been mentioned, so I'll continue with that trend. And finally, I'd also point out that conference banquet. Think about it. The professional dancers that you saw, the beautiful music, the venue, if you looked up at the ceiling, the beautiful artwork, the chandeliers, how many times in your life would you have been able to say, I danced a Viennese waltz in Austria here in Graz? Never. So this has got to be one of the things you checked off in your life saying, I did something great. Myself personally, when Graz was announced, I looked forward to this one because I really love Viennese waltz. And I was very happy to see so many of the ISCA board members up there dancing and showing that they have outstanding dance ability. So thank you all for participating, and thank the committee for choosing that venue and the beautiful music and social aspects that took place in the conference banquet. Finally, I'd like to kind of recognize some of the organizers, certainly the entire organizing committee, but there are a few individuals that clearly deserve a lot of credit and recognition. So I'm actually going to start off with the general chairs. First, to recognize Gernot as well as Sadavko, because they've worked through every aspect. So if you would come to the stage, we have a small gift in appreciation from ISCA.
Unfortunately, Scott had to go back to
In addition to that, the technical co-chairs, both Thomas Hain and Bjorn Schuler. Finally, I'd like to recognize the entire 2019 organizing committee. I'd like to ask Martin Hagmuller if he would be able to come to the stage as well to give him an extra special thanks. So at least from ISCA's perspective, we hope you really enjoyed your experiences here at Interspeech 2019. The history, culture, and the environment here at Graz, Austria was phenomenal. We hope that you learned, engaged, and inspired others, and bring these back to your labs and your companies and your countries and inspire other students and researchers to advance the field of speech communication. Have a safe and healthy trip, and until then, we'll see you in Shanghai, China. You can't really do Viennese Waltz without the music. That's the reality. Sorry, I would like to introduce also the next Interspeech events. So for Dublin, Ireland, Nick Campbell will come and say a few words.
Okay, continuing in the same vein, I would like to give thanks and congratulations to John and to the ISCA board for their tremendous decision to take Interspeech to Ireland. It's an amazing place. To be honest, it's absolutely terrifying standing here and thinking that the guys there will have to improve on this. I don't know how we can possibly do it. We have music, we have speech, we have an amazing conference center. The CCD in Dublin was built very, very recently. It's massive. It's right on the river. It's 2 stops from the airport, so you get there with no trouble at all. It's actually right in the city center. And if you cross this lovely Beckett Bridge, which I think was made in Holland, they shipped it across, and they stuck it up just after I got there about 10 years ago. Go across the Beckett Bridge and you're in Trinity College. It is such a tiny, lovely city, Dublin. All our sponsors, Google, Amazon, Facebook, eBay, Yahoo, Apple, Microsoft, they're there already. European headquarters in Dublin for all those countries, so you can have some great sightseeing at the same time. You may have heard it sometimes rains. That's not a big problem. There is a process they have to turn that water into a black liquid that makes people very, very happy. That's not a problem either, so I think we can probably match at least the wine here and the excellent beer in Brno with something black in Dublin. What you probably don't know is that the population of Dublin, more than 50% of the people who live there are less than 25 years old. It's an incredibly vibrant, very, very lively city. 4 universities within walking distance of each other. So we can guarantee you'll have a great time. Now, next. Next. Yeah, okay, they've animated it for me. Our theme is the music of speech. Now, in Austria we had speech and music. We're doing it the other way around because speech is music. Speech is the fundamental defining characteristic of humanity. We became civilized, we form our society because we speak. And yes, we understand the mechanics of the speech, but there's still a lot we don't know about the dynamics of the speech. Particularly speech in spoken interaction. When to do what, how we engineer this lovely social process that happens. So our theme there is the music of speech. We expect some very exciting papers on, of course, prosody, of course, all the DNNs, sorry, Gerard, but also the fundamental dynamics of human social interaction. Now, the dates. We're taking a big chance here because it's not September, we're going early, 21st to 25th of August. By doing that, we not only got a great discount on the conference center, but we've got the whole of the student accommodation, Trinity College, all the student rooms, you can get there very, very cheap. So we can guarantee to put more than 2,000 people up. Okay, Ireland is a tiny country. You can drive from side to side, top to bottom in less than 4 hours. So put a bracket around that. Come early, stay late. Bring the family, bring the friends, travel around the island, and we guarantee you'll enjoy it. Thank you very much.
So next will be an update for Interspeech 2021. And I don't see that. Here we go. Hands up, yes.
Yes. So the 2021 edition of Interspeech is going to take place in Brno. Actually, it's not far from here. So if you flew to Vienna, you just took a wrong train. At the same time, approximately, would be in Brno and not in Graz. And well, the dates are quite classical. The end of August till 3rd September. The theme is speech everywhere. We want to embrace speech, actually, whether it is speech science, technology, applications, academia, because we feel that our field is now actually really everywhere, so that's the topic of our conference. The chairs, that's Hinek and myself, and I think we have excellent TC team. That's the team of organizers. It's based on the speech group at BUT. And well, first we wanted to have the conference at our faculty, which is a beautiful melange of 13th century monastery and some modern buildings. But as the people grow and as the crowd grows and Interspeech, we need to move to the standard conference center. So this is going to be at the trade fairs in Brno, but still for the tutorials and maybe the side satellite workshops, we can do them at our beautiful campus of BUT. And what we target is actually reasonable price. We don't want to increase the prices, so this is our price targets, and we will do our best to respect them, to attract also plenty of students and maybe people from less from countries where the resources are not as abundant. Okay, for Brno, we have an excellent and nice video turned by the City Council, so please put on the video.
Some places claim to be the most advanced, the most connected, the most knowledgeable. But what actually makes a place just perfect? There are always tiny steps behind the big picture. Like when the greatest scientific discoveries start from the smallest things. Yes, it's peas. Our Brno region might not be big, but its ideas are. Bold plans, smart tools, and the drive to break through. There's friendship, if you want to, collegiality when you need it, and closeness with everybody. Long story short, it's like one creative family here. Everyone knows everyone, which is great for sharing knowledge, of course. And the best part is, all these people live in a unique space of 12 universities, top science labs, and modern research centers. The perfect mix for innovative businesses. Because what you do in Brno region stays in, well, the whole world actually. We are the mecca of electron microscopy. A third of the world uses computer antivirus invented here. Many revolutionary innovations from biotechnology and nanomaterials come from Brno. But how did we manage all these big things? It's because of these little things in life, like feeling safe at all times, which is pretty simple when you live in one of the safest places in the world. In fact, our worst natural disaster is this burning stump. Yep, true story. Besides, Brno region has a tradition of being open to everyone. Easygoing, life-embracing, not so touristy, and with perfect prices, they say. Oh, and did we mention everything here is really, really close? 3 capitals are just around the corner. So that's why we don't need to claim we are the biggest and the best. We know that perfect is what feels just right.
To conclude and to complete one thing that was not enough represented in the video, this is basically about the refreshment. So this is the beer map of the Czech Republic, and the beer is everywhere. And we also have quite some wine. We also have some strong drinks coming from the northeast. And just guess where is the intersection. So some examples are awaiting you in front of the door when you exit this room when the session is over. Thank you.
So next, I'd like to introduce the Interspeech 2020 team, Helen Meng and her teammates, to give an overview of Interspeech 2020 in Shanghai.
So good afternoon. Yes, we are the next on the lineup, and I don't know how to describe how excited and yet nervous I am. So Interspeech 2020 in Shanghai, September 14th to 18th. I serve as general chair, and I'm really fortunate because I have wonderful co-chairs, Professor Bo Xu from Chinese Academy of Sciences, Professor Thomas Fang Zheng, Tsinghua University, and also our technical program chair, Professor Jianhua Tao, also from Chinese Academy of Sciences. And also Professor Kai Yu from Shanghai Jiao Tong University. So Kai is, I think, going to the airport, so he can't make it, but let's give him a hand. So in fact, we're mobilizing pretty much everyone in the ISCA Chinese SIG, the Special Interest Group on Chinese Spoken Language Processing. So all my esteemed colleagues from China, Greater China, and also other Chinese communities are going to be helping out. So you can see our logo. In fact, we have embedded the Shanghai Eastern Pearl Tower in the logo. I don't know if you can see it, but hopefully soon you'll be able to make it out. So the theme is cognitive intelligence in speech processing. AI is really transforming many aspects of our lives, so hence we think that this is a very timely theme. And we've been publicizing our conference in Stockholm, in Hyderabad, and of course here. This is our venue, the Shanghai International Convention Center, and you can see the outside and also the skyline. In fact, we have reserved several floors. Floor 1 is actually a standby capacity in case we reach 4,000. We have floor 3, 5, and 7, which is the top floor, and that's where we're going to have the main events and also the poster sessions. And there'll be plenty of hotels around our venue. And this is our organizing committee. So you can see many well-known members of our community. They're all helping out. And our wonderful international technical committee with our area chairs, which will be led by Professor Jianhua Tao and Professor Kai Yu. And these are the important dates. So our next due date is coming up real soon, November 29, 2019, special session and challenges, proposals due, and all the other due dates. So please take note of that. And we thank the Interspeech 2019 team for sharing with us these sponsorship levels. Now, these are two very important colleagues to remember. If you are going to sponsor us, please contact Professor Lei Xie of Northwestern Polytechnic University and Professor Dong Wang of Tsinghua University. And also, I should mention, 2020 will be we will have a special event in Hong Kong, which is a biennial event. So this is actually the flagship event of the ISCA Chinese SIG. And this is going to be the International Symposium on Chinese Spoken Language Processing in December in Hong Kong. And you can see the venue, which is the Golden Egg. So if you want to come and see our science park and be in the Golden Egg, please come and attend ISCSLP 2020. Historically, this is the biggest gathering of Chinese speech community, Chinese speech researchers from all over the world. So, of course, we welcome researchers who are interested in Chinese culture and the Chinese dialects and language. So please join us if you can. Now I'd like to move to our video for Shanghai, please.
Okay.
So together with Thomas and Jianhua, we'd like to, and the team, of course, we'd like to say together we're very eagerly looking forward to welcoming you all to Shanghai.
So I would also like to echo Gernot's acknowledgement of our industrial sponsors. ISCA is a nonprofit, and one of the things that is really valuable to us is your support to ensure that the registration fees and as many students will be able to come and attend future interspeeches. So we hope that you'll continue to support this vital activity. Next, I'd bring Gernot back to the front stage again.
Thank you. Please stay all, also John. And I would also like to invite again Nick Campbell to come up now, and Hansa Janotsky. So it is my pleasure to say thank to all of you that you take this special effort to prepare us for the next conferences in the following 2-3 years. And we felt that maybe it takes some courage to do so. And sometimes you will experience stressful times. And during those stressful times, you need recipes that help you to organize a conference and stay relaxed. And we have found a very nice book that will help you to survive these stressful times with recipes that come from the Viennese cuisine. So take your time in the kitchen and prepare some nice food that will help you to relax. And I start backwards with Dublin. Here you are. This is
wonderful.
And we continue with Bruno. You have to be already a little bit more nervous, but still, you know, Viennese cuisine is very close to Bruno cuisine, but still you will find some special things there that help you to survive. And finally, for the colleagues from Shanghai, there's 2 things. One, which is again to relax. So here are your recipes for organizing. But there's a second tradition within ISCA, and that is this very nice little flag that traditionally is passed from the previous chairman to the next woman, sorry. And this is what we do today. So please, Helen, accept this flag, and I wish you all the best for the organization of the next conference. And the same to you. Sorry, there's only one flag you have to share.
Thank you.
All the best. And the last little recipe book is for ISCA president, because I just learned that he will do it for another 2 years. And I think he may also once in a while need to consult such a recipe book, because I think he is also such a supportive person that he actually takes away a lot of our stress. But I think you also need to be able to survive the following 2 years. Okay, all the best. Thank you. Okay, so these are the future interspeeches. And I think at this point I just have a very short slide. Welcome again. Wait. Ah! Wow. That is fast.
Yeah. For the whole organizing committee, the students helpers, we want to thank you, Gernot, for preparing this Interspeech, for your vision you had years ago to bring Interspeech to Graz, and persisting over those years, organizing so many things that at the beginning most of us had no clue about. And at the end, more and more people got involved. And I want to thank you for your vision, for being approachable for our concerns, for our ideas, and that it was always possible to talk things through with you and bring in maybe some corrections. Sometimes it needed persistence, but I think we managed it all well, and I want to thank you, Gernot, for this. And I have...
Okay.
So there's two pictures, one of the students helper team and one of the local organizing committee. Or no, actually all of it.
Organize.
Organizing
Yeah, not just local, right?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed. So, as you can see, welcome again in Steiermark. I guess you liked it, so you certainly will come back. Have a safe trip home. See you all in Shanghai in 2020. And we don't conclude this session with another Juchatzer, but we conclude it with our very nice and excellent trombone ensemble giving us a first shout. Thank you, and let's make space on the stage.